Don't trust an idiot. Okay. Now, everybody. And the thing is, how can I put this? Sometimes intelligence. They say intelligence comes in many different shapes or forms, right? I mean, some people can be book intelligent, or some people. I mean, the best kind of intelligence, or where you're sensitive, emotional, spiritual intelligence. You just have a knowing. It's a kind of knowing that you can walk into any environment and you know how to dictate yourself in a proper, decent manner. That is good intelligence. The kind of intelligence that sees situations for what they really are, okay, and can relate to them correctly. Sometimes for some people, because it may take longer for some people, they learn to relate to situations because they stop denying the truth about situations and people that their environment. For instance, a sensitive, really honest, sincere person walks into a room with a bunch of people, right? They're all talking and laughing. As the night progresses, and they start basically getting a little, just having a few drinks and whatever. As the night progresses, they start to drop uh, their masks, and they begin to show what is really beneath the veneer of what they will consider entertainment. And just by listening to their chatter and their conversation, you hear not only in one or two, but the large group of people. They begin to speak a language that's quite offensive. They begin to talk about certain types of people. They begin to act as if they're so superior. They begin to behave in a manner that when you start to listen a little closely, there's little offhandish comments at each other and taking pokes at each other. These little things is what I would consider there is no honor amongst thieves. It's the same kind of like being in a den of thieves. What seemed to be fine in appearance wise, the appearance of when you first come into the environment and all the pleasantries and the niceties is all said and done. Oh yeah. And the food, you've had partaken of food, you begin to see the true colors. When people are operating on any level and they are not given to any kind of certain things that are not appropriate, okay, that will spiral out into so many other areas in their life. And there's nothing worse than a person who can't be corrected. The Bible goes on to say such a person is stupid. And we have today in our lives, we have the term idiot when a person is an idiot. Okay. They're the kind of person that walks through a door and will just open it up enough for themselves. They're the kind of person that will embarrass you in public and they don't care because they don't have no shame. The Bible even says the unjust knows no shame. Dealing with idiots can get you into a whole lot of trouble because they go along the lines, as the book of Proverbs says, that when you hang with fools, you're sure to come to ruin. And every one of us values more than anything else in our lives is what's in your wallet. Because although it is just money, it is value on paper. Idiots will have ways to not only destroy that thing they call money in their lives, but they'll do it to you. Because after they've been spent and spending themselves stupidly, They will find ways to recruit you to join them. And you can't, it's hard to be, as a matter of fact, it shouldn't be a concern or a thought about someone when you see them to be an idiot, that how do you cope with it? You don't cope with any kind of an idiot. You make up your mind to get away, especially if their values don't match yours. When they're talking and they're laughing and they're doing what they're doing, that's who they are. Okay? And they will, as the old saying says, birds of a feather flock together. And hanging around with turkeys are sure enough that they will find you and they will know that you're different and they will attack your eagle wings. In that way, you will not be able to fly out of there that easily. Okay? The dangerous thing about having idiots in your life, especially when they're family members, when they're people you've grown up with in your life, is that there is really no desire whatsoever to grow up or to grow, period. The level of infancy, being an infant, being a toddler, eludes them, that they don't mind being that way. Their diapers are still worn. They, what you would shake your head and think to yourself, how could they even do that? It is not even a matter of asking how. It's a matter of asking yourself, why are you there? Familiarity is a very serious thing for every one of us, our lives, because no matter how much we expand, familiarity has its roots so deep within us that even if you were a person raised and were more familiar and even abused by idiots, okay, it is much more easier to continue the ability to be in that familiarity, because that's all you know deep, deep down inside. So when there's a surface part of you, a major part of you that's growing and becoming better, there is that part. And I believe 100%, and I've seen it. I've seen it in my life many times. God will not send the troubles. He will see that you are still part of the problem. And he will back off a little bit and allow you to have it more and more until you come to a point that you become so detested by it that you have the strength now to walk away from it, where you didn't when you were young, when you were growing up, and whomever may have had the hold on your life. Idiots, they're a dime a dozen. You know, the world today honors, because history, if you were to study history, it is full of so much idiots who did idiotic things to cause idiotic damages to the world they're in, to the societies, to even the countries, to even to the whole world. One idiot can cause so many problems, and the Bible goes to say that one sinner can cause so much harm. So my inspiration today is that if you do find it's on repeat in your life, it's not a matter of saying, well, how do I deal with this? It's a matter of saying, why am I even in it? How do you deal with it? You basically give at some point, I'm just using an analogy, but it's finding a way within to take the whole cards, the deck of cards where you've been shuffled your part to play at the table of the idiot. Put all the cards on the table, whether it's a winning hand, and walk away. Because there are tables out there with people who are not idiots. And life and time goes by, and it is going to be so matter that your investments with good, smart, emotionally intelligent people who get it, they really get it. You don't even have to repeat yourself with some people. They really get it. When they slip up, they say, "Hey, man, oh man, I can't believe I just did that. I'm sorry." You don't have to. You don't have to think about asking them for an apology. But then the idiots don't do that. The idiots keep doing things over and over again to destroy themselves, destroy every relationship around them. And if you are in the firing range, guaranteed they are going to destroy years out of your life. You have a good day and do like and subscribe. And above all else, man, beware and take care of yourself and watch out for idiots. When you know you're in a company of one, just don't even give it a second thought. Just picture you're standing before a little toddler in an adult body that is still wearing their garbage and still wearing stinking of decades of filth on their behind. Have a good day.